Hey, 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 everybody. I can't see. This screen is so far away. I can't see. I can't see. I can't see. Oh, all right, we're going to go because I can't tell. I can't see that far away. Ooh, it's so bright up in here. It is so hard to see. Okay, we're going to get going. This is Carrie, Crafting Up with Carrie, or CWK Carrie, as we like to shorten it up. CWK or CW Carrie. And that no matter which way you do it, it stands for Crafting Up with Carrie. Okay, I came up with this. I just had thought about this little cute sign. I'm gonna try to make. I haven't made it before. Don't know if it's gonna work, but I'm gonna try. Okay, so some cute little things I found. I found this reindeer head or this deer head at Walmart. It came stained just like this. So this is what it looks like. Let me try to get over here. That way you can see a little bit better. I'm gonna use this. Okay, and it came this color, so I didn't have to do nothing to it. It was already done for me. Okay, and then I have these little sprigs that I also found from Walmart. Okay, so I'm going to use some of these to put them together. We're going to see. In my head, this should be a really cute craft. Don't know. All right, then I'm going to use, if I get these out of my way, I'm going to use these stickers that came from Dollar Tree right here. These big stickers right here. Okay, use these. You could probably use stickers. You could do the way I'm going to do it, or you could probably just buy letters already cut out, or you could cut them out of fabric. Do whatever you want to do. But I'm going to use these. And then I'm going to use two other canvases from Dollar Tree. This is a flat canvas right here. This is a 8x10 canvas. It's a flat one from Dollar Tree. And then this one is should be another 8x10 regular canvas. Because I'm going to do like a reverse canvas type of a thing going with this. All right. So let me see something here. Let me try to get my stuff together so I can see. Boom, 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 boom. All right. Let's go. Now I'm going to take this apart. I'm going to use my ruler. We call her Ruby. Ruby the ruler. Cut into this. I'm going to take this apart. So this is just something you can do for just a few dollars, and this can be really something real personalized, I guess. You can do this in the colors that you want for Christmas, or if you're making this for somebody else, the colors you might think. This is going to be a little bit more masculine. So let's say your son just moved out, and he's got a bachelor pad, but you still want him to decorate for the holiday. This is what you do, okay? You would do one of these. So, got this. I am going to take a sharp blade and I'm going to cut along here and I'm going to cut this canvas off. Now I'm going to save this canvas because I am going to use it for something else down the road. Not necessarily today, but like I said, you could do this and you could use fabric. So I could do this again and I could use this canvas for making it out of letters. So if you just want to make it out of letters, your letters out of fabric, you could use this canvas as what you use it out of, okay? So let me get this pulled off of here. Whew, this is usually a little easier to get off. We're gonna pull this off of here. Boop, boop. And do another one this way. Ugh. Ugh. Trying to pull real tight. It's got. There it goes. Here we go. Just try to pull this canvas off. Here we go. Throw away my scraps. Let's go again. Let's cut it a little bit thicker. You can kind of hear it going through a little bit better that time. Let's see. But again, hang on to this canvas because you could definitely use it for other crafts, especially with, springtime crafts are going to be coming up soon. It'd be cute to make a little boat out of this canvas or other decor. Ay, ay, ay. Who knew it would be this challenging to get this canvas off? There we go. Throw my scraps away, trying to keep somewhat of a clean spot here. My last section. Here we go. Usually Dollar Tree canvases are really easy to cut apart. This one's a little bit more challenging. The Hobby Lobby ones are definitely a better canvas, so they are a little thicker. They are usually more challenging to cut open, but I usually don't find a Dollar Tree wants to be this tight, but this one's on there tight. Pull this off. Okay. Now I'm down to my canvas. So I'm going to pull off any of these back pieces that might be too big, just strings hanging, getting this stuff off. All right, perfect. All right, awesome. Got that trimmed down. I'm going to hang on to this fabric or this canvas. I can use it for something different. I'm just not going to use it today. All right, so I'm going to take a little bit of my sanding sponge. I get these from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to give this a light sand, okay? Only because I want to open up the pores. I'm going to stain this. And so it's going to help open up the wood to really absorb it, get up any oil, grease, fingerprints. It shouldn't have fingerprints on it because it was just me touching it. But you never know, right? So I'm going to just give it a quick sanding. Now, if your edges, like here, it's a little nicked, you might want to smooth that out. I probably, since that side is the worst side, the edge, I probably will just make sure this is the bottom, so I might be able to hide that little nick, but it's nothing that big of a deal. But just trying to smooth it out just a little bit. Make sure my sides look good so they can absorb the stain as well. Okay. There we go. Okay, gotta get my space cleaned back up. All right, now I'm gonna take a little paper towel. You could use a t-shirt, a cloth towel, like a Gen foam brush, anything you like to do your stain with. I'm gonna use stain. This is just my preference. Some people like to use that antiquing wax. I'm not a big fan of antiquing wax. I prefer stain. I like the Varathane wood stain. I prefer dark walnut. One day I got a special, it's called Special Walnut. I didn't think she was so special. I thought she was going to be special, but she wasn't. I didn't care for that tone, that color. It was a little too orangey for my taste. But everybody has their preferences, okay? So I'm just going to take a little bit of that. After I shook it up a little bit, I'm going to put my paper towel in there. You could do this with a baby wipe. It would help, lighten it even more. But I think it's just going to be light enough just the way it is. Okay, I'm just going to stain up my frame. I do all my outside edges, the front, and then the inside edges. Okay, I'm going to do all of it. You don't have to stain it. You could just paint this if you prefer the painted look. It's however you want to do it, whatever works best for your decor. So, you could personalize this or not, however, whatever floats your boat. It feels like there's like a wax on this wood and it's not as woody, right, as real wood, because it did come from the Dollar Tree. So I'm sure it's a lot of glue compressed is what these frames are made out of. I'm going to take my clean edge or my non-stained edge of my paper towel and I'm just going to try to give it a quick wipe. Okay. Just like that. There we go. So it's a light color, but it's on there. The stain's on there. Now I've seen some of my little frayed edges of my canvas that stayed on behind. Just want to make sure those, it's okay if they're on the back, you're not really going to see them, but I don't want them hanging into my picture frame, if that makes any sense, or hanging off the edges. I don't want to see them, but as long as I don't see them, I'm good with the little remnants being on the back with the staples. Okay, look at that. Look at that big one right there. Woo! Big string. I'm going to let this sit for a second because I am going to dry brush over this. So I do find that stain has to be pretty dry before you put like paint on top of it, especially a white paint, because it's going to show through a little bit. So I'm going to try to set this aside over there and put my stain away so I don't knock it over. I've been known to knock over a whole can of stain. I don't want to do that again. I'm going to go to my flat canvas, my 8x10 flat canvas. I am going to take some white chalk paint. It's Waverly. You could use acrylic paint. You do not have to use chalk paint, but it's just what I had right next to me, and that's what I'm going to use. I am going to use a bigger brush. I'm going to use this just so I can go across in bigger swoops, if that makes any sense. You're like, why is she painting white on white? Only because I just want it to be more white. The canvas is a light off-white or an oatmeal type color. And it's just kind of another way to help add protection to my canvas anyway. So I'm just going to, look, I got some stain on my fingers. I got it on my frame. Okay. Probably should put this on a plate, but I don't have, I guess I do have a plate handy. Where did I just put my plate? I found my plate. Here it is. Let me put some white on here. Don't need a whole lot. Just need to give it a nice, clean, thin coat. And I do like to keep my, man, I feel so discombobulated today. Where is, here, I can use these. Two things are about the same height. Will be good. I'm going to put these out in front of me. Put my item I want to paint on top. There we go. Allows me to not hit my table so much. And I can see a little bit better because it is kind of like white on white. I can see a little bit better where I've hit with the paintbrush and where I have missed. All right, I want to keep this as smooth of a coat as possible, but you're not really going to see it too much, but it's going to pop through when you see it when I'm done. Okay. But I'm just trying to do this in phases so things can just dry as we're going to kind of make it go a little bit quicker. All right, just paint this last corner right here. Where the light's hitting it, I can see where maybe I missed it. There we go. Because it's not going to matter too much there. It's more in the center. I need to make sure it's nice and smooth. There we go. Tap my side, make sure I got my edge. Pretty sure I got here, and I'm pretty sure I got along there. All right, put that in the water. We are done with the white. Actually, there's a lot of white paint on here. Let's see if I can scrape it back up in here. Don't want to waste. Okay, there, got most of my extra paint off. Put my lid back on. All right, now this needs to dry. And let's put this over to the side a little bit. Boom. Just like that, just like that. I see a hair. Okay, I'm gonna get my blow dryer out. I didn't really want to do a blow dryer. I'm gonna hit this with a little bit of air just to get this to dry, just to make sure it's in there before I dry brush it. And I wish I'd have done that before I put my paintbrush in the water. But I always do that. I always put my paintbrush in the water, then I go, oh, I needed my paintbrush. Okay, let's get this going. I'm going to go ahead and hit this, but I'm going to hit my button to make sure it's cool air hitting this. Ooh, I got a piece of something up there. So it's not hot air, it's cool air out with my blow dryer. Because if you do it too hot, your paint might bubble up, and you don't want bubbled up paint. I wouldn't think you would anyway. Get that. Get it with a little bit of heat. Hit it back with a cold. Don't want my paint to bubble. Heat, a little bit of heat on the side. And with this being raised and the light hitting it, I can kind of see where it's still a little wet and where it might be dry. Keep your hot air moving so you're not bubble it up. Hitting with that cold air again. Okay. Go back to this, make sure it's dry. That should be good enough. So I just want to make sure hot and cold air, so that way I don't burn and bubble up my paint, because that would not be the effect that I'm going for. All right, so let me see. I might have enough of little remnants of white paint on my plate here. I'm going to take a brush. It's a little damp, so I'm going to dry it off. I'm going to grab some of this paint. Now I'm going to dry brush on top of this. You could leave it solid this color if you want. I'm going to add just a little bit of dry brush. Now, my suggestion of dry brushing is you start on your edges and you work your way through. Okay, so I'm going to go here, come here. I'm going to go across here, go across. But you got to be careful, because see, it gets a little gray. It gets a little off-white. It's not white. So that's about all I'm going to do to this. Okay, I don't want to get that wood, that gray look too much behind it. Okay, I might need to get a little bit more paint off my lid, brushing it off. Again, I'm going to start at my corner and go in, corner, go in, and go across. And I'm going to do it light, because I don't want to get that stain color coming through. Same thing, I'm going to do my edge coming in, and pull it through. Okay, so you can do this as heavy. I'm going to go back up here and do it again, just to make it a little heavier. Same thing, corner, and pull it. Oopsie daisy, I got hooked on some wood bits. Okay, there we go. So you can do this as heavy or as light as you want. Okay, I'm going to do my sides and then my inside. I'm going to do the same thing. And then you let this dry a little bit, and you can go back and say, hey, I want to do a heavier, I want to go lighter, or you can sand it and get it off. But I have found if you sand it, sometimes that gray tone, that dirty look can come to it. So just be prepared for that. Okay, here, and then pull it across. Edge, pull it across, and do long sweeps. So I got enough on here. Edge, pull it across. Go back and forth. There we go. Because if you do your edges first, you're kind of knocking off that extra paint, and it helps it just be a little bit thinner through your edges, your corners, and however else you want it to be. Okay, so I got that done. Let me do my inside. You can make this be weathered or not. It's up to you, distressed or not. Okay, there we go. Got it. It's distressed. Got my tongue tied there. Distressed as I want it. Boom. There she is. Let me get that corner where my finger might have been. There we go. That's as good as I want it. I want it just to be light. I more want the wood to kind of come through, because my deer, I want it to kind of offset my deer. Okay, so if you've not figured out, this is going to get glued on top of this, but something's got to go in the middle of this, right? So what my thought is I'm going to do the word joy. And this reindeer is going to be, or I don't know if it's a reindeer. I keep saying a reindeer. This deer is going to be my O. So I need to try to figure out where I want this to go. So I've decided I want his antlers or his head to be turned that way. So that's left. His head is facing left. That's how I chose to do it. It doesn't really matter. It could go either way. I think I want it to go this way. So I'm going to put him. He's going to be like in the middle, right? So now I got to do my J and my Y. So I'm going to find my J. So my J is a lowercase j, but I'm going to treat it like an uppercase J and just put it here. And I'm going to try to center my reindeer. I keep calling it a reindeer. My deer as best as I can. I got to think about, I'm going to go up a little bit higher because I'm going to do a sprig underneath. I got to remember I'm doing a sprig underneath. So I might go up just a little bit higher with him. Okay, he's got to go over just a smidge. Let's see. Try to center him as best as you can. I think that's about center. Okay, now I'm going to dip my J. And I'm going to put my joy on here. I'm going to do my J. End at the same length as my deer, right? I want my J. Let's do this. Let's get my ruler to give me a little better of a visual of where that might end. Just like that. And then try to make it as straight as you think it need to be. Boom. And then I gotta do my dot for my J. And I didn't push it down real hard. I didn't push it down real hard because I might need to take it off or I might not have it right. So I'm gonna take find my Y. Hang on. Do I not have a Y? Oh, my Y is right here. Holy cow. That was a snake. It had bit me. Okay, same thing. I'm going to line this, try to center it. Same spot. Keep it lined up. Let's see. Try to eyeball it. Hold up. Hold up. Carrie hit the ruler. Carrie hit Ruby. And I see I need to bring my J down just a smidge. But let me eyeball where this is going. Try that one again. I think that might be about where it is. I think that might be where my J is hitting, is a little up higher. There we go. So I think that's good. I think that's good. And if I mess up, hopefully I got more stickers. Okay, I'm going to lift up my deer off here. I'm going to lift up this off of here. Got those set to the side. I'm going to push down my J and my Y. I'm going to push them down. I'm going to set this to us. Almost knocked my computer over. And set this over for a minute. Now, make sure these are nice. Hang on. Let me see if I got to find something to make sure these are nice and tight on there. No air bubbles. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to mix up some paint. I want this paint to be just a little bit darker green than what I got here. So what I'm going to use is I have this green from Waverly. It's called Fern. But I think I wanted more like a hunter green or like an evergreen, like an emerald, like a really deep green is what I wanted. I don't have that. So I got to make sure I don't get into my white over here. I am going to mix some of this Fern. Some Fern paint. And then I got this Anita's all-purpose acrylic. This is called Foliage. I'm going to add some foliage to it. Hit some foliage up in it. Oh, yeah. That's not the color. Oh, shoot. That's like a blue. I need to shake this up really good. I added blue. There we go. There we go. Oh, we got a lot. This is old paint. All right. Got that in there. And I'm going to add a little bit of black because I want to make it a little darker. All right, let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. Let's see what concoction we just made. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. It's not as dark because I think that blue threw it off. Add some more black. And my daughter would know exactly what color I needed to add to make it a darker green. But this is about as dark as I got. And I don't think that bad paint helped much. All right, there we go. I just want to darken it up just a little bit, not have it be so light green. Okay, there we go. See how much different that is? Okay, I added some black, and here we go. All right. Just want to darken it up just a little bit. All right, now for sure, I want a big brush. Only because I want to swipe this across as best as I can, but I don't want to waste this paint. So let me get some of this paint off. Well, I guess I could just use this one. This worked pretty good. Okay, I'm going to go across my canvas. Same thing. I'm going to try to use my cans to help me get this up off. Do sides, get my sides. All right, and I'm going to go over my letters. Try not to push too hard over my letters because I really don't want paint to get underneath. And be mindful of how much paint I have because I can't mix this color again. I won't know what this is. Got a lot of extra up here, so let me get some of this extra coming down. All right. Nice, long, clean strokes. I'm trying to get my edges because you're going to see the edges. I did not want to leave my edges white. It'd be up to you if you want white edges, if you want to paint over to the edge. And I'm trying to paint away and not under the letter. So I'm painting this way on the J, and I'm going to paint this way on this side of the J. I don't want to force the paint underneath. Woo wee. All right, get my edges. Get my edges. Thinning it out just a little bit. Now going over it. I don't know what that side looks like, but hopefully that side's good. All right, there we go. There we go, there we go. Here it is, the green, right? Get all this out of my way. We're going to get that blow dryer back out. And now I'm not going to dry this, but I'm going to get it drier than what it is right now because it's on there pretty thick. Same thing. I'm going to hit it with hot and cold, hot and cold. That way I don't bubble up my paint. Ooh, I see that like a hair. Give me a second. Where's my little? See the hair, right? There. Got it. Okay. Keeping that hot air moving. Getting it with some cold. I want to get it a little dry around my letters. Okay, now I'm going to take my little sharp, this I think was one of my baking, I don't know, could have been a baking or a crafting thing. I don't know. I've had this needle for a while. Get it cleaned off here. Okay, I'm going to find a spot and I'm going to try to pull off my J. I got paint on my fingers, so I need to be careful. I don't want to get paint. I don't want to get green paint where it's not supposed to be. And I'm going to lift real careful. Perfect. Perfect. Same thing. I'm going to do my dot. Need tweezers is what I need. Get this. There we go. Got my J. And let's do this to my Y. I got paint on my hands. I don't want it there. I'm going to start with my loop of my Y because I think that's going to be my strongest piece, if that makes any sense. Whereas the top of my Y is split, right? All right, there we go. I probably could have pushed my letters down a little bit better, or I could have Mod Podged over my letters and then painted, and that might have stopped more bleeding. But it's going to be okay. Now I'm really going to hit it with the air now and get it dry because now I don't have to worry about my stickers being stuck on there. Okay, get this good and dry. Woo! I painted it thick. I don't know why I put such thick paint on here, but I did. But I do like the darker green. That's what I wanted. I wanted a dark green, like a deep pine color. If I get this real dry before I start playing with it again, and knowing me, I'm going to get paint mess if I don't. I think it was cold. I don't want my paint to bubble. but I can see at my angle where it's still a little wet. I can see where it's dry and I can see where it's wet. All right, that should be good. Now I want to take one of my paintbrushes that are a little bit thinner, and I'm going to take my white paint and I'm going to try to fill in where it bled a little bit. That way it doesn't look so runny. Does that make, I don't know, hopefully that was the right word. But I'm just going to try to go as straight as I can. So that was another reason why you paint it, is because now if I wouldn't have painted my canvas, I wouldn't have any way to really clean it up per se. Now, it's not going to be perfect. I'm just going to try to get as much of a straight line. If you had a marker pen or a paint pen, that would be the better thing to use. But I don't have one handy, so I'm just going to use my paint. I might need to use my plate to get my a little bit more out. It's a little too thick in my... Woo, that was way too much paint, but we're going to have to scoop that back in there. There we go. It wasn't coming out enough. But just a little bit, because we're going to do something else to this to help cover up any bleeding. But just trying to help clean it up just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just cleaning it up. And chalk paint is going to dry a little bit quicker than acrylic. So that will matter here in just a second, because we're going to do this. I'm trying to make sure I find a dry spot to put my finger on as I use it as a guide. Ooh, this just reminds me of Michigan State colors, and I am not a Michigan State fan. Ooh, girl. I just realized what I did. Michigan State colors. All right, doing my J, cleaning it up wherever it needs it. Just a little bit right here. A little bit on my circle. Again, I'm not looking for perfection, because this is a homemade craft, right? But I'm still wanting it to look good. Find a dry spot to use it as a brace for your finger as you're going down, trying to create your straighter line. Okay, I think my J was pretty good. It was my Y that was a little shaky there, but I think we got it. Okay, so I cleaned that in. So now I got my J and my Y. Letting this dry for a second. We might need to hit it just a little bit. You hear that change when I go to cool air to hot air? Okay, hopefully that's dry enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Sharpie, and I'm going to, oh, hope I didn't get paint all over my shirt. I'm going to trace my letters with my Sharpie, and that will help hide any more imperfections if I don't make too many more imperfections tracing the letters. All right, so. Try to go as long as strokes as you can to not have so many dots of where it ended. But I just outlined my J, that side of my J. Okay. Doing my top of my J and trying to do it in one stroke. And this will help hide imperfections. Now, it's going to be hard for me personally to go around my J all the way around. So I'm going to start at the top of my J hook or J loop and try to bring it around as far as I can go. And now I'm going to come straight, do the same thing that it would already go across. I did. Now I'm going to come straight down. And going as straight as I can. There we go. Outline my J. And you can go as thick with this. Ooh, I almost need to take that out for a second. Thick or thin with your block outline. Now, you could, if you go too thick with it, guess what? Paint over it with your green. I'm gonna need to do that on that side. Do your Y, do your O dot, or your J dot, I should say. There we go. Got my J. Now let's do my Y. And it just helps make it pop a little bit more. Woo, my finger was off. And this just helps hide any more imperfections that you might have had with your letter. All right, there we go. I need to straighten up my Y. Hang on. I went a little too far over this way. Whew, with my white or my black. So let me get over it a little bit, straighten it up a little bit with my white here. Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay, now on this side, I need to clean up I went over a little too far with my green. So I'm going to take my other paintbrush. I'm going to come over here and straighten up my line this way with my black. There we go. There we go. I like that better. Kind of bringing it in, bringing her in. Awesome. So I got my J and my Y outlined. Now I'm going to glue all this together. I'm going to go ahead and put my frame on top of this. So let me get my jars out of the way. I don't need those anymore. I'm going to use some E6000 and hot glue to put this down. Hot glue is what's going to make it adhere. E6000 is what's going to make it stick for the long haul. If you're like me, I'm in Arizona, and this heat just pulls this stuff off. So this could go out in your man's man cave. It can go wherever you want it to go. But if you use this inside, that's good. But not everybody stores their decorations inside year round. So here, I'm going to put this up inside, right? But it gets stored outside. Well, in the summer here, it gets 150 degrees in our storage unit. So hot glue can't stand up to that heat. So I need to add the E6000 to all my stuff, especially if I know it's going to be stored outside. It just melts right off. So some of you might be in Florida or Georgia or another state where it's hot and you need that extra layer of adherence. Okay, here we go. Putting this on. Center it on there as best as you can. Oop, oop. All right. Got my frame on top of my sign. Now I'm going to take my deer. I'm going to put, oh, he's so cute. Put him right there in the middle. Again, E6000, just to keep it there for the long haul with some hot glue, okay? Just some hot glue and E6000. And add that E6000 to it so that way it just sticks, okay? And I'm going to put this on there as centered as I can between my J and my Y, because this is my O. All right, so there we go. We got joy. Now let's add just a little bit more lightness to this, and that's where these sprigs are going to come into play. So I'm going to put some of this white down. We use my clippers. I get these clippers from Dollar Tree. We clip that off. Now I'm not going to need the whole sprig, so I can cut this. I can cut these leaves off. I think that'll work. And we're going to do it by here. Do one here. And I might need to put these two together to make it equivalent to that side. Maybe this one will just work. There we go. Okay, I'm going to glue these down here. Right, put that down there. Oh, how cute, with some berries in there. Okay, I'm going to use this as I'm going to center this under my deer. I just cut those off with that. And now I'm going to glue these on here. Cute, cute, cute. Okay, using that as my centerpiece. Gluing that on there. Gluing this one on there. Perfect. Adding this one, just because I think this side isn't as thick as this side, I'm going to add this one right on there. I'm going to add it right there. Okay, I'm going to get my makeup applicator, and that's what helps me hold these down so I don't burn my fingers. Okay, let that cool on there. Perfect. So I got those on there. Now I'm going to add some berries. Ooh, this is looking cute. Cute, 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 cute. Okay, let's get some berries on there. Love it. Love it. Get a 1 berry piece. Oh, my Lanta. Too cute. Okay, I think this is a little longer than what I need, so I'm going to cut that off. I'm going to glue this in. Put some glue to the back. And again, you could use the E6000 because it might need it to hold for the long haul. If you're here like I am, even just storing it, it would melt right off. Hang on. I'm trying to get that in there. Gluing that in there, holding that in there. Adorbs. A bowl. Okay. Add some extra glue on it just to hold her in there. Okay. Do the same thing. I'm going to get another one with just the 1 berry on it because that's all I did on that side. So let's add this one. This one's got 1. I'm going to do the same thing. Oh, this is too cute. Too cute. All right. Adding that on. Ooh, it's hot though. Careful of your fingers. Use finger protectors or your makeup applicator, whichever one you got. But be mindful of where your letters are because you want to be able to see your word, right? Whew, it's hot. All right. Awesome. Awesome. Gotta let that dry. Get some of these glue webs out of here. Perfect. Okay. We're gonna let that dry for just a second. I'll let that glue harden for just a second. So, but we got to put something in the middle to kind of hide that middle spot that they come together. So what I did is I just grabbed some ribbon that I had. I chose red and white only to kind of help break it up. And I just made a little simple ribbon out of bow out of this ribbon that I had. And you can make this bow as big or as little as you need it. And those of you who watch me at Crafting Up with Carrie on Facebook know I'm not much of a bow girl, but I think this needs a bow. But I didn't want it too girly. So if you're using this for a man's space, it's not too girly. So let me say I'm going to cut it here. I'm going to cut it maybe this long. And then we cut it the same length if I can from this side. I think it's about here. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to make like the tuxedo or the point, the cut, right? And that's more masculine. I don't know. Maybe it's not, but I think it is. So I fold my ribbon in half and I say, Carrie, cut to the fold. So I take where my ribbon got pointed together and then I cut up to my fold. And that's what gives me that little V. That little tuxedo V cut in your ribbon. Now you could do it a different angle, different way, but that's how I got to do it. Fold it in half, touch my points. I cut from my touching corners and I cut up. And that's how I get my ends. All right, now I'm gonna put this in the middle, and this is gonna help hide where all this stuff came together, okay? Get my stuff out of the way and put this ribbon, put this bow on there. And that will be, I think, enough to help hide the coming togethers of all the strips. Oh my gosh. Did this not turn out cute, y'all? Did that not turn out so darn cute? I love it. Love it. So this is what I came up with. Drag a little bit. So if you wanted, you could cut these letters out of material or fabric. You could do that. You could use stamps. You could use stencils, whatever you have in your home, t-shirt, whatever you want to call. You could just go over and paint it with a different color. It's up to you. At the end of the day, it'd be yours. But I thought this was really cute. Something, it could be in your man's area, in a den, a study, a cabin up north, a lot of different options. All right, you guys, thank you for spending some time with me today. I appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed this little simple, I don't want to say simple, but everybody's craft level and everybody's dexterity is different. But hopefully you might have a lot of these things right in your home and you could replicate this to fit in your area. All right, you guys, see you later. Please follow or subscribe to my page if you haven't. I'd greatly appreciate it, or visit my website at cwcarey.com. All right, you guys, thank you so much. See you later. Bye.